switch a store every month for new capsules, you're going to get the traffic you want, because now the customer knows that I can only find that there. And I love that, because Swatch just did this. Swatch did a collaboration with Omega.
Yes.
And I love Swatch, because Swatch has been like the enfant terrible in the Swiss watch community forever. And they are trying new things, kind of like Supreme did in US. Like they went to Mercedes to say, we want to build the smallest car in the world, and then we want to do it with you. And Mercedes were like, okay, game on. And there came the smart car. It's literally a Mercedes for a third of the price that only fits 2 people. It's fantastic. I can park straight in instead of trying to, how you park on normally. Now they went to Omega and say, yeah, we want to take your $20,000, what is it, Seamaster or whatever it's called. Yeah,
Yes.
and turn it into $250 limited edition watch. And that's it. Oh, and they, of course, Omega won't say no, because now they reach a new audience. But at the same time, this watch was only released in the stores.
And it was
So,
going to be an omni-channel release. And as soon as they saw the lines, right,
yeah.
they said, Like, but
Mm-mm.
isn't that amazing, though? I mean, you bring up a very salient point about Gen Z, Gen Alpha. I think there's just so much just exhaustion. And I sort of knew this was going to happen, of being in front of the screens and doing nothing but just virtual stuff all day long. I mean, you're seeing a spike in dogs, by the way. You're seeing an increased interest in some of that generation want to go into the trades. Like, and it's amazing how some of this stuff has come full circle. It really, really is. And if the people that want to just sit in it and bemoan the demise of retail, undifferentiated retail, sure. I saw a piece recently, Banana Republic, like they're white noise.
Yes.
They started out as truly experiential retail. They really, really did. I mean, they had the Jeeps in the store and the crazy safari hats and the whatever, but they morphed into something that was basically neither fish nor fowl. They're
Yeah.
playing in between price points. Retail price points better than anybody. There's like dead zones of price points, and they unfortunately sort of landed themselves in a lot
Yeah.
of these dead price point zones where they're not premium, they're above Zara, they're above fast fashion, definitely not like in luxury. And it's like, what do you do with that? And it's totally undifferentiated, unfortunately, because it's got great heritage, it's got great IP. It
Yeah.
just needs some of that, recatalyzation. And it's amazing the brands that really get retail. Like, wow. I mean, and by the way, look at some of these restaurants, where I live, where you live. I mean, the great restaurants, it's amazing. You'll have great restaurant line out the door because there's a band, because there's something that like the consumer that she can latch onto and like, this is real, I can experience it. But the restaurant down, with the same food, by the way, the restaurant the next door with basically the same food, like, yeah, we've 30 tables. Which one do you want? Like on a Saturday night. It's crazy. So it's
Yes.
amazing. The people that get this, it's not dead.
And if you
Go ahead.
think about that, they opened a sushi joint in Philly, and they released their seating, and it's only fixed price. It's a tasting menu. He doesn't have a Michelin star yet, but he will get one. And they are releasing a 24-hour window for the next month's seating, and they're sold out within 2 hours. So they figured out how to create a moment in time where people look forward to something. And the FOMO trend that everybody wants to be part of by thinking wide and broad, they figured out how to narrow it down to 24 hours. And I love that. That is the best thing ever. Because now they created an interest. They created an aura around the total experience that is just beyond everybody else. And I want to say something back to Oakley. Oakley, when I started, had 430 SKUs, different items, right? And they also had a custom program that had 1 million different solutions that you could design the glasses to. When we worked with them, I said, go down to 150 SKUs, kill everything else, because the sell-through was like 0.8 to 1.2. So like you couldn't tell what was good or bad of anything. So I say, take your bestsellers, your heritage frames, cut it down to 150, and the sell-through start improving like nothing else, because now there's too many options out there. That's the one of the problems I feel with a lot of customers today is that we're trying to, like Banana, have everything under the sun for them, but then nobody's interested anymore because they can't make a decision. So
It's so true. Go ahead.
I decided I'm gonna start an underwear brand because one thing I learned from Jeff Bezos is that stop creating an innovation. Stop trying to figure out something that nobody have seen before and create that, like the car with 3 wheels, or like none of that will ever work. It will be a PR thing. It will get a lot of marketing, but after that, it's not gonna work. So then I said, okay, what product is out there that every man on the planet needs, but is so underappreciated from a fashion sense? So I said, all right, I'm going to start an underwear brand. And the underwear brand is called Banana Hammock because it takes care of your banana. And
Fantastic.
we only have 3 styles. We have the
How many more do you
AJ.
really need? To be honest, I mean, how
Yes,
many more than
exactly.
3 do you need?
Yeah, exactly. But every second month, every 8th week, we launch 3 new styles and take the old 3 away. So you can buy the first set in early spring after Christmas, 3 models. That's all we sell. Once that's sold out, we only make 500 of each of that. Once that's sold out, there's completely new models coming after that. Because what I discovered when I did my research was that men buy 20 pairs of underwear a year. That's all they buy. And there's no fashion to it. And we're sacrificing our ass, honestly, into some cotton that can't keep the shape for longer than a half a day. And why? Why do we do this to ourselves? Why can't we have underwear like women does? We need to step it up, man.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going to have this conversation today, but it's fascinating. This is fantastic.
Launch date July 1st. 3 styles.
Are you
Here we
sure
go.
you don't want to do it on the 4th of July so you'll launch with a bang?
No, absolutely. It doesn't matter much. We have, and also the other thing too, what I learned over the years, because now I spent 25 years building brand for other people, is that it doesn't matter what you sell. It really doesn't. You can be successful selling anything under the sun if your story is good enough to listen. You have to be original in your story. That's where you put innovation in. You put your innovation and your originality into your story. Because if you stand for something and if you dare to believe in something, just like IKEA did, like we're going to make cheap ass furniture that lasts for 5 years and that everybody can afford. And it's going to be this stylish like crazy. And nobody knows, for example, that IKEA has 80 designers and 60 of those designers are famous designers around the world. They produce furniture for shit money because nobody gets a lot of payment. And they maybe get $2,000 for a new dining room table. That's what they get. But they want to have sold something on product at IKEA. That's the point for them. But IKEA, unique, original, stand for something, believe in something. Like that's a brand that you want to stand behind. Supreme sold a freaking brick for $80 that said Supreme. Like, who doesn't want to get that? Just because it's the silliest thing I can possibly buy. I spent $80 on a brick. What am I going to do with that brick?
Did you get that?
I did. Indeed, I did.
Did you get the hammer, by the way?
No, I did miss that one. Yeah. But so this is what I mean. It's like when a brand needs to have stand for an originality, especially today when everybody are the same. And when you use argument like I'm better than that person, the second you start comparing yourself to somebody else, you lost the game because now you're telling everybody else that person is actually really good, but I'm trying to be better. Skip everybody else. Just tell me your story. Tell me what you're good at, why you're doing this thing. Because at the end of the day, you and I are going to buy the underwear because you like the story I told. Like why